Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, Nintendo has announced a Direct for Friday. Nintendo's also got a Pokemon patent that's continuing to get crazy, and Blessing has played Little Nightmares 3. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. The Blue Blur, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Greg. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Haven't done a show with you in quite some time.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like it's been, at least a week and a half since we've sat down together and talked about video games. How you been? How's the week been?
I've been good. The week's been good.
Nice.
I've enjoyed having you back in the office. I enjoy hearing you on the content and seeing you out there doing all your stuff. We haven't talked because I'm on a show, then you're on a show, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you.
If I missed anything in the last week, I know Hollow Knight Silksong came out.
Silksong. Yeah, are you playing? Where are we at with that?
I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I picked it up.
Okay.
I wasn't going to play it, actually. My plan was... I didn't like the first Hollow Knight really, and so I'm just going to skip this one. And then it was Roger, Barrett, and Andy that looked at me and they were like, no, you'd like this one. You should try it out at least. And I played about the first 10 minutes of it. I want to get back to it, but as people know, we're juggling video games. Review season's happening. But my goal, even if I don't fully dive into Silksong in the next few weeks, my goal is to at least dive deep into it before end of the year, before Game of the Year season.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
What about you? Are you playing? You playing?
Oh
Silksong?
yeah. I was on the review. Are
you liking Silksong?
I love Silksong.
Really?
I love
Silksong.
Man, I know it's crazy. I'm
blown away.
This game's got the stuff, man. This game's got the stuff.
And I think that's the thing that gets me excited is knowing how Tim felt about the original Hollow Knight, and even knowing that it felt like even though Hollow Knight was a big phenomenon, it also at the same time felt very specific as far as you got
the gamer it appealed to.
Yeah, exactly, right? You kind of have to have the taste for it. This one seems like it's casting a wider net and getting more people in, which gets me excited to try it out again.
It's interesting. I know we talk about it occasionally with something like a GTA or whatever, a big Sony first party release, but I think even beyond, it's interesting to see all of our friends have this moment where you open up Blue Sky, right, and Instagram or whatever, and it is all sorts of people that I usually don't see BSing about the same game, BSing about the same game. Like Rebecca Valentine being all about Silksong and having all these things up along with the footballs. Janet's all over it, and then it is the extreme. It is Barrett. It is Andy. It's this.
For me, it's like seeing wider social media adopt it, right? Being on my TikTok algorithms, and of course my algorithm is my algorithm, so it's going to be me. But even then, the amount of Silksong clips that I see, and then seeing I saw a screenshot that showed it had hundreds of thousands of concurrents, 400,000 or something like that, which feels insane for a 2D Metroidvania. I think that's the especially crazy thing about it is it's not a battle royale. It's not a, third-person action Sony game. It's not a, fucking Counter-Strike. It's a 2D Metroidvania. We talk about even Metroid, right? Metroid being maybe the best example, the biggest example of a Metroidvania, being but Nintendo doesn't look at that as a seller, but it's a nice, fan favorite franchise, so they keep it in vogue. The fact that Hollow Knight is doing gangbusters, and it's an indie game that took its time to release and had a very small team. That's very heartwarming. I love seeing that.
100%. Yeah, it's a special time right now to be out there. I wish I could be playing it right now, but once we did the review, then it was back to Redacted. Yeah. I'm back in the Redacted mines. When I get out of this Redacted mine, I'm into the Ghost of Yote mines, and then we'll continue on.
That's crazy that Ghost of Yote is in the original Redacted.
You can say what it is. They were very clear. You can say you have it, of course, provided by PlayStation. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, I haven't even started it. It's installed, but I need to get
haven't even started it.
If I'm reviewing a game, I'm reviewing that game. Mm-hmm. I don't like jumping around and doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way, but it's the season where I am I'm in Ghost of Yote, but also there's another game that I'm
and you're on that one. You and Roger redacted on that one.
Yes. Yeah, we're all playing. We're all just passing around these redacteds.
Yeah.
It's a busy time.
Busy time, everybody. And it's only going to get more busy because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, podcast services around the globe. If you like that, of course, please pick up a membership. You can get a Kinda Funny membership on patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple or Spotify. Of course, you would get all of our shows ad-free. You'd get good karma for supporting a small, independent, 11-person business, and you'd get your daily dose of me Greg Miller in a series we call Gregway. That's 15 to 20 minutes of solo podcasting each and every day. However, no bucks toss our way, no big deal. Watch live as we record the show on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, podcast services around the globe, and of course, be YouTube super chatting. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunnygames while we're live. Super chat so you can be part of the show. So many people understand what to do. There is a Nintendo Direct coming. We need your Nintendo Direct predictions. I see them starting to fill in. I also see Clawmaster who says, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Didn't work, but maybe one day Joe Hendry will come in. I appreciate that, Clawmaster. We usually just get washed up old wrestlers who are trying to launch video game companies for some reason. Of course, some housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person small business, all about live talk shows. After Kinda Funny Games Daily today, you're getting the Kinda Funny Gamescast. We're breaking down every upcoming video game movie. I'm very excited to listen to this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. We've talked about doing this for a while. I've been like even teasing it on the show of we got to talk about every single upcoming video game movie because it's gotten out of whack. Every week there's a new video game movie announced. There's gonna be a split fiction movie with Sydney Sweeney in it.
It's true.
We got to have a conversation. And so I'm glad that we finally made time to have this conversation.
I'm glad we have the crack team of Nick Scarpino being there.
Yes. Nick Scarpino, Raj Picorni, Mike Howard, and myself.
The movie bros.
The league of, video game movie bros.
It's going to be a fun conversation.
Yeah.
After that, it's going to be more Rainbow Six Siege on the stream. If you're a Kinda Funny member, today's Gregway is 2 Gregways. You're getting 17 minutes on if you can podcast in 2025, and then 24 minutes about something we'll talk about in this show. What I call a teaser.
Well.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Today, we're brought to you by Shady Rays and Factor, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
We start with the biggest news of the day. Number 1, a Nintendo Direct has been announced for this Friday on the eve of Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary. We go to Simon Cardy at IGN.com. Of course, super chat question. What are your predictions for the Nintendo Direct on Friday? Following recent speculation, a Nintendo Direct is confirmed to be taking place this Friday, September 12th. The broadcast will begin at 6 a.m. Pacific time and will run for roughly a whole hour. As for what's being included in the stream, Nintendo has yet to confirm, but seeing as it's taking place just one day before the 40th birthday of the Super Mario Bros. Series, it wouldn't be a shock to see some plumber-related news. For context, a similar showcase took place to mark the 35th anniversary of the original Super Mario and included Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury and the limited release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, and a Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch. Oh my God, the dog's still out. I didn't put him in his bag. Forgot about that.
Oh, he's out here.
I heard him jingle over and like, oh, Cole's still out there. The door's closed. He must be flipping out. Friday is coming. We will be doing this. We will be reacting. And I can confirm that we are so hyped about this. We are so ready for this. We believe this could be a big one because, as IGN Deals pointed out on BS, the rumored September Direct is not surprisingly a reality. At 60 minutes in length, it's on par with the April 2025 Direct, officially revealing the Nintendo Switch 2. We are going to react to this one live. You know, we've fallen into this rhythm lately of making you wait. You can watch it whenever you want to. We come into the office. We watch it at 10 a.m. when our programming day usually starts. We feel like this is a big one. This seems like a big one about the future of Nintendo, what's going on with this Mario anniversary, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we said we will all sacrifice our sleep and we will be here live, 5:50 for a pre-show a.m. into
I'm excited.
The reaction. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Into the Gamescast post-show, into a Games Daily, into a stream, I assume. And then we can go home early.
Hell
Blessing.
Yeah. Greg.
Why are you excited?
I mean, I'm excited because I really like Nintendo games. You know, I'm excited because there's so much to, I think, expect and look forward to when we're so early on in the Switch 2 life cycle. It feels like right now the world is our oyster. It comes back to when the PS5 and Xbox Series X first came out, and I think it was Tim that talked about the phases of the PlayStation. And we were like, all right, it feels like we're past phase 1. Like, what is that phase 2 slate of games going to look like? And then we didn't really get a phase 2, but I think there was the anticipation. There was the hype, right? And like, hype needs to be managed carefully. Hype can get out of control. I think there's so many things to talk about when it comes to hype and excitement for upcoming video games. That said, when it comes to Nintendo, I'm like, I expect things. I expect that sometime this generation, we're going to get a new 3D Mario, or a new Mario sports game, or a new Zelda, or a new Kirby, or a new XYZ thing. And I when we're this early in the generation, I have no choice but to be excited for whatever that thing could be.
Here's my question for you. Back to the Tim Geddes Marvel phase conversation that never came to be with PlayStation.
Yeah.
I do believe that Switch still thinks of phases and does want it to be, we've had a banger first year here of Switch 2. Let's go out on a high note. Obviously, my prediction with a bullet for number 1 is, hey, here's the release date for Metroid.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Either it is this year or we are giving you something and it's going to be February 2026. Anyways, I believe we get that. I believe we look ahead. How much of this is Mario Anniversary coded?
See, that's what I'm very fascinated about. I don't think it's going to be entirely Mario Anniversary, right? I don't even think an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour.
I want to say 10 minutes. I think
okay.
You get like 10 minutes worth of Mario focused stuff. And it's going to be varying degrees. Like, I wrote down some predictions for the Mario side of it, and I've organized these predictions by low hype, medium hype, high hype, and impossible hype.
It's the blessing 4-finger scale.
It's the blessing 4-finger scales of Nintendo hype. So starting with my low hype, as far as Mario stuff that I think could be at a Nintendo Direct, right? I think a Galaxy 2 port would be exciting and like somewhat reasonable to expect, right? I'm not saying it's gonna be there. I'm not saying like, oh damn, that's a slam dunk, you're gonna see it. But I think when we look back at the last big anniversary and you see 3D All-Stars, the one game that wasn't in 3D All-Stars was Mario Galaxy 2. That felt weird.
How does this fit for you? Over on the Super Chats, the one, the only, Kebabs wrote in and said, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is added to 3D All-Stars via DLC, but 3D All-Stars itself is not reissued. Also, isn't it weird?
Don't be dumb.
Hey, throw up the WNDs in chat.
Don't be dumb. Like, if Nintendo announced that, I'm looking at Nintendo and I'm like, you're being dumb right now. This isn't even a weird Nintendo decision. That's just a dumb Nintendo decision. That's
I think it's an interesting idea that they put out Galaxy and they put out the game again with that in there.
Honestly, yeah, the idea of reissuing it would be so fucking dope. Yeah, like release Galaxy 2 as DLC, but yeah, you can actually buy 3D All-Stars again, but you have 3 months again. So we're taking it back off the store. Another one I'll throw in there, Mario Movie 2 casting and or first look. I don't know if it's too early for a first look. That movie's coming out 2026.
See, I don't think it's too early.
You don't think it's too early?
I think that's pretty much guaranteed. Yeah. I would say that's like a lock that you're going to get something movie related. I would hope it would be similar to what we saw before. Like, remember when they did the cast and then they had like the scene of him coming out the pipe, right, and being into the Mushroom Kingdom and conflating things. I would think something like that to tease where we are in the Mario story.
Meeting Yoshi.
Yeah, that's the thing is the casting thing gets weird because how many more characters?
Say what you said out there.
Well, it's like you got to cast Yoshi. It's like who's gonna play Yoshi? Sabrina Carpenter.
There
like you got to get an A-list. You got an A-lister.
Give the people what they want.
Give me Sabrina Carpenter as Yoshi, and also like what other characters could we see? Do we see any? Actually, I don't need to get deep in the Duffy. I was gonna say, do we see any deep cut Mario characters? Do we see like fucking what's the old Toadstool name? Do you see him? Like I don't know. I don't know how many more
Toadstool
do we see Waluigi? Do we see Wario?
Actually, I think that's definitely in there, right? That's gonna be the angle.
Is it Danny DeVito? Is Wario?
Be awesome.
That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Who's Waluigi then?
Oh, who's the guy? Damn, I'm not gonna be. He was in what was the one comedy? It was like a dark comedy. Is it called Barry?
Yeah. I was going to float for my Waluigi. I forget his name, but Buster from Arrested Development, the right-hand man of Julia
Tony
Louis.
Hale?
Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus' right-hand man in Veep. I think he could be a good one.
Bill Hader is who
Bill Hader.
I was thinking of for Waluigi.
Bill Hader's awesome.
I was also thinking of if you're gonna go Danny DeVito, Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis in Always Sunny.
Oh yeah, because you already have Charlie Day in there.
Yeah.
And then moving on from the Mario movie, Mario Kart World DLC is another one I have on the low tier.
Gotta have it.
I think it's gonna be basic. I think you get the DK skins and the Pauline skins that are based off of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Because that was the thing that people pointed out from Mario Kart World is that you go through all the characters and they have these different costumes, but DK and Pauline didn't really have shit. So obviously they're holding that stuff for some kind of DLC drop. I think here maybe you get the announcement of what those things are.
In Mario Kart World?
Mario Kart World.
Do you think you get something for Bonanza?
No.
Yeah.
I want to, but no. And that's not even and I'm tying this stuff into the Mario.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's a weird one for me personally. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Mario. I got nothing, but it's like I'm more interested in what would surround this other than Mario.
Yeah. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza definitely gets some kind of update. I'm not even going to say DLC because we were doing the DLC dance. Yeah, we were doing the DLC dance with Mario Odyssey, and that never got any like major DLC.
Yeah,
but it did get patches, and it did get like additional features and cool stuff added. I don't know if we'll see it this soon. I'm thinking like a February direct.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting is I think with this direct, you're of course doing your celebration here still of the Switch 2's first year. We're not going to look back that much at what's already come out and talk about it, I would imagine, with the exception of World, because I think people do expect and demand stuff like that. And I think that would be a good boost to that game going into the holidays if it's better than ever and people are playing it. Yada, yada, yada. Bonanza, I don't think you need to worry about it. I think it is, here's the imminent stuff of Mario's anniversaries tomorrow. What a thing. Here's the looking at the movie. Here's looking at Mario Kart World stuff. Here's an old game being added in some way, shape, or form. Here's... with Donkey Kong Bonanza just having happened, you're not getting that 3D Mario platformer soon. So are we looking at a more classic 2D thing? But Wonder just happened as well.
That brings me to my medium hype.
Medium hype
Prediction /hope/stream. Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition.
Yeah, guarantee,
plus
right?
Some kind of DLC.
Yeah.
I think in the way that you do the Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star Cross Worlds, right? Or Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I think a Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition plus some kind of DLC. I don't know, Luigi Wonder, like Peach Wonder, like, Bowser's Second Fury. I don't know what the fuck it is, right? But I think some kind of plus added DLC could be really good. And I think timing wise does make sense and could work out.
I agree with you. I think again, Wonder is a slam dunk of getting a Switch 2 edition with something else to get you excited for that.
Yeah.
I wonder when that comes out. No pun intended.
Yeah.
That's the thing where it's like you want to have a series of Mario announcements here to celebrate this 40th anniversary, but we don't want to slam more stuff into the end of the year here, right? If we are having
if it gets announced,
here.
I'm thinking maybe early next year, like maybe in like the April slot, March-April slot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which brings you to high hype.
High hype, everybody.
Mario Maker 2 and or Mario Wonder 2, like a new 2D outing.
Mario Maker 3.
Sorry, Mario Maker 3.
Yeah. Okay, cool. See,
I don't expect those things, but I think they'd be cool. I think they'd be.
And here's my thing: is Mario Maker is an amazing game, an amazing piece of technology, and I think will be enhanced so much by the cursor for building your stuff with Switch. I would love it to be Mario Maker 3. I still think I imagine it would be Mario Maker 2 plus whatever Switch 2 edition.
Mario Maker 2 plus Paint. Switch 2 edition. Something
goofy like that hey, and it now uses the mouse controls and blah, and it'll pull from and then it's going to have all the old shit in there. It'll have new stuff in it, blah, 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 which would be cool and great. I would be excited for a brand new Mario 3 or whatever, but like, whatever, they're going to do that way. But yeah, I think it's a no-brainer that we eventually get more Mario Maker, but I wonder if Nintendo's committed to making a 3 or if they just want to enhance 2.
Yeah. And then my impossible hype one is a new 3D Mario, right? Like that's the thing that I think we all want, but also on the other hand, I'm satiated by Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah. That was the Mario Odyssey team. I don't believe that they're going to turn around and put out another game next year. I think that would be like some fun.
And then you get into, would they let anybody else do it?
Oh, another 3D Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think there's a chance they could have been concurrently developing them, but I just don't think you put it out next year. I just don't think that'd be a smart decision coming off of Bonanza.
At best case, I would imagine you get some kind of like, and it's 40 years and all the things we've announced. Yeah, but don't worry, Mario's not done yet. Take a look at this. And it's just like a teaser of, Mario, and grabs his hat or something and like out the door, and it's the title reveal, and that's it. But even that, I don't think that's what they'll do.
Yeah, like I think if you make that announcement, it'd be a thing that's at least 2027 at least.
At least.
And like as a miracle.
For sure.
But those are my Mario low, medium, high, impossible hype predictions.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be good with that. Like, Mario Maker would be great. Ben loves Wonder, and I love playing Wonder with him. So whatever they want to passion add to that, I'd be down for that too.
And there's like things around the edges. I would love another Mario sports game.
And that's where I was of
man.
If I was
don't break my heart again, Blessin.
Tennis
tough.
Aces was all right.
It was all right, but remember the soccer game?
They were all right.
The soccer game was right.
The soccer game was like we fell off hard.
He's like we don't care anymore.
Golf we fell off hard on too. Like I mean, that's the thing is like I think one of those is more likely than a 3D, and I know you know that too. You're impossible scale. I know. I'm just calling it out of like I could see Mario basketball or something goofy like that.
Mario hoops would be fun. It'd be sick until it comes out and it'd be like, oh, this is very fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mario Sluggers. That'd be such a sick announcement until it come out and be like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Bander SN is on the right track with us, of course. Prediction: 2 new Switch 2 edition games. My bet: Pikmin 4 and Mario Wonder. Pikmin 4, another of like, oh yeah. Cool. You start looking back at like what are the Switch 1 games that got overlooked a little bit.
Luigi's Mansion 3 Switch 2 edition.
I feel like the older games are less likely to get switched to. Like I think the Zelda games were like kind of the standout because of Breath of the Wild and being famously like chugging at times.
Yeah,
but like I don't know. I feel like Luigi's Mansion and what was the other one you mentioned that came out?
Pikmin 4.
No, Pikmin was even more recent, but there's
Mario
another
Wonder?
earlier game that from the Switch life cycle that just feels like it feels way too, I don't know, past its
hold
time.
on, sorry, just to close out, then Bander SN said also Mario Baseball with Shohei Ohtani playable, lol. And then over here, I like really good beef says Mario Pickleball.
Oh my god!
Can you fucking imagine Mario Pick? That's money right there.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah.
I you were going somewhere. I just wanted to get it all out before it slipped away. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
Oh well, yeah. I think Barry was talking about the Switch 2 edition stuff. I think the fact that we got like Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby in the Forgotten Land, like, I do think the Switch 2 edition idea is smart. The execution has been wonky, but I don't believe they're done yet, but I do think they will be done after this year. Like, I don't think this is a thing that they keep around.
I just like when you bring up Luigi's Mansion 3, I'm like, that's a pre-pandemic game. I don't know if they're going that far back outside of Breath of the Wild.
Oh, was it really that long ago?
Yeah, that was 2019.
You're thinking of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. They did that more recently, which we were.
Okay, that's a good
here.
call out there.
Yeah. Big said, "Hear me out, Mario Party Maker."
Oh, oh man. I need a cigarette after that.
I
don't even smoke.
Let me get some more Mario stuff before we get outside of Mario stuff. From your super chats over here. Epic Failer says, if it's more Mario focused, I'm assuming we're getting news on the movie sequel and a new 2D Mario trailer. I don't think we're getting a new 3D Mario, so they're with us. And I do wonder if new 2D Mario trailer would count for Wonder.
Yeah.
Maybe getting more content there or whatever. Krabby Patty. Again, speaking some language here. And by the way, thank you for the raid, Krabby Patty. I saw you earlier over there. Super Chats and says, probable Mario Golf / tennis on Nintendo Switch Online.
What do you mean? On Nintendo Switch Online?
Get more of the old games coming.
Oh, the old games.
Yeah. Putting more of that
like
stuff
the
there.
GameCube ones?
Yeah, get Toadstool Tour on fucking there. The GameCube one, I'd flip out.
I'll say, because I think the N64 ones, I forget if they're already there. But
Toadstool Tour ain't. I'll tell you that right now.
That'd be cool.
And then possible Mario Galaxy 2, impossible Smash Melee on Nintendo Switch Online.
Dude, Smash Melee would be so sick. But yeah, I don't know if it's the time yet.
Ryu Dan X says, I'm thinking we get a new Super Mario Brothers collection and other news. And the other news is info on a Tamagotchi Life and Rhythm Heaven. Heard nothing about them since announcing them.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we shout out is there's a lot of games that we know are coming that we need more information on.
And that's what, as I wanted to transition a bit out of Mario, David N with the call out for Mario Maker 3 to tide us over to the next mainline game. Yes, of course. Again, I would just enjoy a Switch 2 edition, blah, blah, blah. To expand beyond Mario, I think it gets, for me personally, more interesting of what we're going to get. Metroid date, I think you have to.
For sure.
You have to. It's supposed to be this year, right? What do we got? Where are we going?
Over-under on it actually being this year still.
I still think this year.
Yeah?
I do too. I honestly do think it'll come out in December. I think that's where they'll go, whatever.
I'm kind of with that too.
But then I think for me, personally, it debuted at a Nintendo Direct. It's time to give me a fucking date for Marvel Cosmic Invasion. They've been saying this year, they've been doing this thing. You're out of fucking time. Announce some more
out of time.
Announce 2 characters and give me the goddamn date on this fucking game because I can't wait for it.
Hades 2. We need a release date for that.
Did they say they were going 1.0 this year?
And it's
I don't know if they said this year.
They said like I think this has been like weirdly reported a couple of times, and they've kind of gone back on it sometimes. So, but I think the idea is the next big update is supposed to be the 1.0 update.
Okay.
And they did say that when it goes 1.0, it will be Switch console exclusive for a time.
Yes, it will be Switch console exclusive.
So it would make sense to
So that would make a lot of fucking sense.
If Hades 2 comes out before Game Awards, the way that this is going to be we're going to have the best debates.
Bloodbath.
We're going to have the best debates of all time.
What the fuck?
Hades 2 versus Silk Song versus
Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. That alone, not even bringing DK Bonanza or fucking Death Stranding or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 into it. Just those 3 games. Oh.
What a year for fucking games.
Oh, dude, video game lovers are going to be fucking hating. It's going to be a bloodbath.
God.
Blueprints, but I love Blueprints. It's my game of the year still currently, but it's not going to be nominated. I've already made peace.
Damn.
What game?
Blueprints.
Yeah, it'll be nominated for Indie Game of the Year.
It'll be nominated for Indie, yeah.
Yeah, it won't be on our top 10 list, I think, sadly.
You don't think it'll make the top
10?
10 list?
No.
For Kind of Funny?
Even if it's on my number 1. I think there's a shot.
Maybe.
Until I figured out something goofy that one day I'll talk about so I don't get in trouble. You know, let's keep this all very ambiguous. I am ready for Blueprints. I've talked about like I had to be in the mood.
Yeah.
And after Hell Is Us, I am so ready for Blueprints. But I'm so buried by Redacteds that it's like I got to get out of that and then get back to it and hope I still survive.
So you'll get to it in December. Cool.
No, hey. No, I'm going to get to it before December because I do think that game looks like
It's
the
so
shit.
fucking good.
And I want to be a part of that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Not to be, a super dead horse, but like, we had that one game come out for N64 Online, bless. That was part of like the people figuring out the blurred games.
Yeah.
Were like Donkey
yeah.
Kong 64 and Smash Brothers and Glover and Rayman 2.
You're talking about Forsaken 64.
Yeah, Forsaken 64 got officially announced. So maybe not DK64. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But maybe Super Smash Brothers 64.
I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that.
Just to bring in some of more of that Mario love,
The last one I'll throw out there is another trailer for Duskbloods, the From Software game that was announced. Exclusive Switch 2 multiplayer From Software game.
I feel like we're more likely to hear about finally an Elden Ring release date, right? Because I don't think we have that. And you guys got to play it at PAX, and it was at Gamescom, so I think
I don't think you will see Duskbloods until Elden Ring's cleared.
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah. That's a good call.
Mitchell B has a super chat and says, direct hype, give me a release window for the new Okami game they teased at TGA's last year.
Do we even know that's going to Switch
Yeah, I think
2?
that's further out. Yeah, I don't think though. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the hype. Tell us out there. Aaron Lime super chats and says, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 on Switch 2. Old
gosh.
Snake on Nintendo. I would fucking adore that. Not a chance.
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
No, and I don't mean like Volume 2 never coming to Switch 2, even though I don't. Well, no, it can run. It'd be fine. I just don't think they do that here. I don't think. That'd be insane.
It'd be weird.
Did Volume
cool,
1
though.
come to Switch 1?
Let me look that up.
Switch 2?
I would imagine so.
You would think
maybe not
so.
Switch 2, but
Yeah, not a Switch 2 edition, but
yeah, collection part.
Cozy Bear has a fun, unrealistic prediction. Samus gets announced as playable in Mario Kart to coincide with Metroid Prime 4's release date announcement.
For a weird reason, I don't see it, which is funny because Mario Kart 8 had all the crossover characters. I think they did.
And
they
then
have Metroid
Samus
stuff?
never came over to the Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
What would be fun, though, is if you played with the costumes. And so it's just, you can get Peach a Samus outfit.
That'd be
a
nice.
helmet or something like that. That'd be a fun
Master
way to keep it
Collection
all
did
universal.
come to Switch 1, by the way.
Thank you very much, Bear.
Oh, cool.
Final Fantasy VII. I think we will probably finally get a date for that as well. And then, off of the Nintendo Direct, Xbox will announce, like, hey, it's coming to our platform on that same day, too.
Jonathan has a super chat, says, my safe prediction, a trailer for Panzer Dragoon 2 Zui remake. My impossible as fuck prediction, the Star Fox franchise isn't dead. It's back with a Ratchet and Clank-like level of fidelity. Yeah, keep dreaming on that one for sure.
A Star Fox return would be cool. But also, it's like, I don't even know what a Star Fox looks like nowadays.
In 2025, yeah. King Toast has one that says, it's a simple one. Fire Emblem Three Houses Switch 2 edition.
Oh, yeah, we got to get a Fire Emblem thing for Switch, too.
Yeah.
That feels like one that feels like one of those ones that, like, they're holding in the pocket, for like we know this is a banger. Like, it's not like an Animal Crossing, right? But it's still like this is one of our staples. Like, you're going to have a Fire Emblem thing in the next few years.
I could see if there is a Fire Emblem thing, maybe not a new game, because I feel like the recent game was only like a year or two ago at this point, right?
Fire Emblem Engage?
Yes, Engage.
Engage.
I could see that rare GameCube game getting put onto Nintendo Switch Online soon because people were stoked about that.
There were definitely rumors. I know Tim was talking about Fire Emblem. I forget if he was talking about Fire Emblem 1, though. There was like one Fire Emblem game with like a weird ass name that might have been the first Fire Emblem that Tim would bring up of like, oh, this thing is probably going to get like a remake. So yeah, I could see some kind of re-release remake or port.
And then you start seeing the ones there. Johnny512 says Zelda of Ocarina of Time remake. I want it with all my heart, all my fucking soul. This isn't the place for that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd see that here. I think that's going to be a bigger.
I'm also not convinced that that's a real thing.
I know. I'm. This is where I'm in my fourth level of impossible. I'm also up there with Animal Crossing. Here's Animal Crossing Switch 2 Edition. Again, New Horizons Switch 2 Edition. I don't think we're obviously close to a new Animal Crossing. I do think Nintendo inevitably is going to do a Switch 2 Edition of this game. I think, however, they wait till next year to coincide with the anniversary in March.
Genealogy of the Holy War is the name of that Fire Emblem game.
That's a name.
Yeah.
That's a name right there. I think you get the Warrens to go investigate that one. Dose of Nostalgia asked a question I feel like we kind of talked about it, but do you think we'll close it off here, okay?
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a mention / throwaway line of Nintendo mentioning they're working on the next 3D Mario? I think there is a chance of that. And I don't think it's a small chance. Like I said, it could be the whole thing of Mario's journeys aren't done yet. With Super Mario, whatever, a tease of it. It could also be that like we are hard at work on this, that, and the other, and of course the next 3D Mario.
I think the only reason why I do think there is a chance is because it's the anniversary.
40th. It's a big number.
It's the 40th anniversary. It's a big number. You announced your new console without a new big 3D Mario, and I also wonder how they're viewing it as far as like, is it Odyssey 2 or is it something that they're viewing as scaled up even more? Because part of me even envisions it like when they first revealed Breath of the Wild of just showing rendered, hey, here's Mario in a level, and it's something that is, oh shit, like I wasn't expecting this to be the direction for Mario.
Sure.
And they're like, that's all we're showing you. We'll see you in 5 years. I think that's the timing we're talking about.
Hearing it.
That's the timing we're working with.
Talking about 2030. Like we're not all wearing wraparound glasses and in flying cars.
Like we won't have society.
We won't have a democracy by then.
That doesn't feel like it's a Nintendo move today, though, to like, hey, let's show you a game.
But again,
that's not going to come out in 5 years.
40th anniversary. I feel like you really want to celebrate Mario and all this old shit you have. What new shit do we have?
Yeah, but
is it the return of Mario 99? Do we get that again too?
Mario 35, please.
My apologies. Thank you.
I do wonder because like they did jack shit for the Zelda, I think 35th anniversary or whatever that happened right after the Mario one.
Yeah.
And that's just because things weren't lined up. I feel like with Zelda to make things happen, to show things off because they weren't ready to show. I just don't think modern Nintendo wants to rock like that.
Sure.
Mainly because they showed Breath of the Wild for years and years and years, and then it finally came out. So yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I just think I agree with both sides here. I just think there is a Green Goblin Mask-esque voice in Nintendo's ear that is, you put out the Switch 2, you've not announced the 3D Mario, it's the 40th anniversary, give the people something, even though they're not going to fucking play this game for years and years and years, give the people something. And listen, Nintendo, here's what I'll say, resist. I don't want to see it if I'm not going to play it. Resist that voice. Don't show it to me. If it's 5 years away, don't fucking show it to me. If it's 2 years away, yeah, maybe.
Fair enough. We will find out what is coming Friday for the Nintendo Direct. You can watch it with us bright and early our time, 6 a.m. Pacific. Like I said, we'll be live at about 5:50 a.m. for a little bit of a pre-show. We'll go from that right into our Gamescast reaction and review, right into that, into Games Daily, right into that, into a stream. So just keep your watches dialed us. And if you want to watch it somewhere else and then watch this with us later, of course, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Final super chat for right now comes from Golden Spider. My prediction, Nintendo sues everyone watching using bullshit and obscure patent laws. Nintendo's becoming as bad as EA lately.
Whoa.
What does that mean? Well, it has to do with story number 2. But before we get there, I want to tell you about 2 of our sponsors, because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily, and we couldn't do it without them, and we couldn't do it without you. If you like the shows and the conversation, of course, pick up a Kind of Funny membership, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, patreon.com/kindoffunny, Apple, Spotify, to get all of our shows ad-free, get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series I call Gregway, and of course, get good karma for supporting something you love. However, right now you're not using your benefits, so here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. You know that moment. The one when you realized you left your favorite pair of sunglasses at the beach. We've all been there. I'll never forget leaving my incredibly overpriced sunglasses at a restaurant in Santa Monica. That was 13 years ago, and it still haunts me to this day. But then I found Shady Rays and everything changed. Seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive. And here's the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear. Y'all know I've been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm all out and about. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Check this out. You can head to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shady Rays, use the code FUNNY.
Between busy schedules and summer plans, sometimes all you got is a couple of minutes. Factor helps so many of us here at Kinda Funny eat smarter with tasty, chef-prepped meals that are dietitian-approved and delivered right to my door. And now, with more than 65 weekly meals made for how we live and what I like to eat, we've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes us. On many occasions, Factor has completely saved Greg and Jen when they needed it most. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Eat smart at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code kindafunny50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Number 2, Nintendo now has a U.S. patent on summoning characters and making them battle for you. This is Chris going in VGC.
Golly.
Nintendo has successfully acquired a U.S. patent on a gameplay mechanic used in other games. As spotted by Gamescast, Nintendo was granted a patent last week which covers the action of summoning another character and making them battle on the player's behalf. Specifically, the patent describes a situation where, bullet point, a console or other system is being used to run a video game from storage. Bullet point. The player controls a character in a quote-unquote virtual space. Bullet point. The player can perform an input command to make a quote-unquote sub-character appear, parentheses, i.e. summon another character. Bullet point. There's an enemy where the sub-character appears. The player can control a battle between the sub-character and the enemy. Bullet point. There's no enemy where the sub-character appears. The sub-character will automatically move around. Bullet point. The player can move the sub-character to a different location on the field, and if an enemy is there, they can control a battle between the sub-character and the enemy. The most obvious example of this patent in action is a Pokemon game where a player can summon a Pokemon and use them to battle other Pokemon on their behalf. It could theoretically be interpreted to cover a number of other games, however. Another example could be Nintendo's Pikmin series, where players summon Pikmin by either uprooting them or choosing them from a player's ship and moving them to different locations, triggering fights if they hit an enemy. I'm sure there'll be no problem with this ever.
This confuses me of like how is this something you can actually enforce? Like I think that's the thing that confuses me and blows me away about this specific patent is when we're talking about Nintendo, we're talking about a company that is litigious, but also wildly influential as far as what they brought to video games, right? And so, like, are you also going to patent Z targeting, like fucking lock-on targeting? Yeah. Are you going to fucking patent analog movement in a 3D game, right? Yeah. Like, are you going to? I feel like if you go down the list of things that Nintendo has brought to the table, they're responsible for so many innovative things, and I think, like, one, I don't even think chat. Greg, maybe you can help me. I don't know if Pokemon was even the first monster catching game.
No, I remember when this originally came up, people flipped their shit because it wasn't.
Even that is weird, right? And I know they've innovated on it, right? And they've really, like, Pokemon put that shit on the map in a way heavier way. But I think since then, right, that's turned into a genre. I think that's something that's more an influential mechanic / system as opposed to something that is IP, right? Or like something that feels like it's infringing upon an idea that Nintendo should view as, no, this is ours. It's like, dude, I just got back from the Bandai Namco preview that I did at PAX, where I got to play Digimon Time Story.
Yeah.
Or Digimon Story Time Stranger. And that game has literally every single thing they list on this bullet point list.
Yeah.
But I don't play it and go, damn, this is just Pokemon. You guys stole from Pokemon. I play it and I go, man, this is a really inspired take on what this genre is. Same when I play a Persona or a Shin Megami Tensei, right? Or like any game where you're catching in things and, you know, making them fight other things. I don't know. This seems dumb. I read this and I go, get a grip, Nintendo.
Yes. It is dumb. It is. You said so. There's a lot you've said there, and I agree. Yeah. And there's a lot that we don't know in terms of what Nintendo's vision of this is. Mm-hmm. You said, is it enforceable, right? I think what's important, and I know most people know this, but to start my diatribe on all this is that everything is enforceable when you go to a court of law, right? It's not like the cops are going to break into some indie developer and be like, knock it off, here's the patent, you know what I mean? I know that wasn't what you were saying either.
For sure.
So you have to wonder two sides of it, really. What Nintendo is thinking and then how the world will react to it. Because what Nintendo is thinking is, I don't want another fucking Pal World. We have to be able to nip this shit in the bud and stop blatant ripoffs of Pokemon and, you know, blah, blah, blah. The clones that are infringing on a copyright are infringing on a patent, which happens when you are, you know, the biggest
literally the biggest
pocket monsters or whatever.
The biggest entertainment IP in the world, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. That is Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So they need to protect that, and I understand that. You would like to think that Nintendo does this with that idea in mind, and that's what it is. This is something we've done, we've put in the folder, so when a Pokemon knockoff comes around, we can shut it down with this on top of just usual copyright information. That's great. The trouble is that leadership changes, things move, yada, 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 and so one day, is Nintendo going to overstep, in our opinion, popular opinion, whatever, and go after a game that isn't that? Mm-hmm. The other side that I think's the most important would be dealing with something called the chilling effect, which is that Nintendo doesn't even need to use this warhead they have. They have it now. So if you are a developer who has an idea, who has this thought of a game, are you going to be the one who touches the fence and says, is this too far? Is this what would make Nintendo mad?
Yeah.
And not even, I think of the small developers, you can also increase that too. The AAAs, the AAs, the big thing, who have an idea and want to go to their publisher, their bosses, and they go, this is what it is, and it's great, but we know Nintendo has a patent that's so like that we don't even want to fuck with it. We don't want to be the ones to fuck around and find out. And you can say, well, this, that, and the other. I saw the chat popped out, oh man, Digimon's cooked. Digimon again would be such a legal battle, because that would be the battle of, what the fuck are you talking about? We've been doing this for decades in parallel with them. No, we aren't. You can give the good faith to Nintendo, and Nintendo as a company, I think, has earned it for the most part with how they treat this kind of shit. Yeah, I know they shut down fan mods and things, blah, blah. But again, they're protecting. Overall, Nintendo is a company of taking care of their employees and not being fucking as evil as everybody else out there, sure. But again, that all can fucking change. And again, all it takes is one thing to be like, well, no, look at this IDGA game we saw at the awards. Fucking shut that shit down. It's like, that's nothing but it's just summoning, but
yeah,
who knows?
I hear you. I think the chilling effect point is very good. I hope that the chilling effect isn't so strong that, and I think it will be, honestly, but I hope it doesn't stop the Koromon of the world, which is essentially an indie inspired game that is basically just Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
But it's very much like, it's not doing Power World numbers. It's just people that are like, we really love Pokemon and have things that we want to do with the mechanics of Pokemon, and we want to make our own thing. Koromon is one that I get recommended to me all the time from people that hear that I'm like in the mood for a Pokemon thing. They're like, oh, check out Koromon. Temtem is another one that came out like quite a few years ago that people were like, oh man, if you like Pokemon, this is like a cool thing.
Yeah.
I think Temtem. Those types of games that aren't the Power Worlds, right? Power World, I kind of get it, because Power World, I think, is egregious in a lot of how it does take.
And that's
Pokemon.
what is forced this. And over here, it's already gone, I guess. Somebody's like, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt here. I don't mean to be saying I'm giving them that. I'm just saying this is the myriad of solutions. Don't get me wrong. I don't like this. This is not, I definitely think this will lead to games that could have been getting canceled or changed or not being the vision.
I also think that, like, if they ever do go after like a Digimon or after a game that I don't think that doesn't warrant that type of action, I think it's going to be really, really bad for the Pokemon and Nintendo brand. It's not going to tank them by any means because they're the biggest thing on Earth. But Nintendo / Pokemon don't usually do much to warrant that kind of negative press. You know, Pokemon will put out a really buggy game, but you know what I mean? But they're not like being shitty to people in a way where everybody looks and goes, oh, what the fuck? Them going after, I think, something that is like, no, that's just a legitimate game doing their thing, I think is a turn into, oh shit, we're about to enter a dark period for Nintendo as far as public perception in that regard.
The problem, though, is that I think they go after a popular game, they go after an indie game, a AA game, whatever. Like, I think it would make waves with us and our audience and the hardcore gamers. But when you're talking about the biggest IP in the world, the people going to Pokemon World wouldn't know or care. I think the people watching the Pokemon cartoon wouldn't know or care. And so that's when it's like, really, can you damage public perception that badly in a thing that's this entrenched in terms of pop culture?
Yeah, but I think even within their core audience, like the core audience of gamers, which I know they could say fuck the core audience of gamers and be totally fine, I still do think to some extent they have that. And like, I don't know why you would, I guess, mess around or I guess fuck around with that audience that you don't really need to piss off, which you do if you go after a Koromon.
If you want to know
Digimon.
my real answer to that would be, I think that the majority of that core audience would be upset and say that sucks, but they wouldn't be able to not buy the next Pokemon. Like I go back to the fact of, you know, before I entered into being the #1 Pokemon fan here, watching y'all from the outside, where it is like, yeah, the story sucks and it doesn't run well, but it's like, we all play it and we all loved it, and and like, you know, it's like there's that thing, there's that vibe, there's that audience to it, where I think if Nintendo was like, listen, we can do this and really piss off a bunch of 35-year-olds, but the 12-year-olds with their Switches are still going to buy the games. Who cares?
Yeah, it's at a point where they think, at least for themselves, like, too big to fail.
Exactly. And whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But yeah, I think it is so hard, it feels, to motivate people on boycotts that, yeah, if Nintendo went after Digimon, I think there'd be a lot of people like, yeah, Digimon sucks. And they'd read their thing like, they're right, they're copying. I'm like, I don't know. And I do not know the history of Digimon.
Yeah, remind me, correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't Digimon older than Pokemon?
There's no way.
Let me know, chat.
This is like the Hydrox Oreo thing. I'll believe the winner of the fight.
There's absolutely no way Digimon's older than Pokemon. But like, I'm looking this up.
Jesus immediately goes, no, and then Ernie Cooper goes, Digimon is older. So there you go.
Let me see.
Digimon
started in 1997. When did Pokemon start?
Golden Spider, it says
96.
Yeah.
So just a year difference.
Damn. Digimon was on it. They were like, they saw that canary in the coal mine. We're like, let's make our own. We gotta make our own.
Someone left.
Let's get into the digital space.
Let's move on to story number 3. Little Nightmares 3. It's a preview roundup. Logan Plant over at IGN said, I'm so excited after playing Little Nightmares 3 for nearly 2 hours. The third entry in Bandai Namco's horror puzzle platformer series is designed to be completely cooperative 2-player adventure. Parentheses, though it can be played solo if you like. And based on the level I played, it's shaping up to fit the same niche as puzzly co-op classics like Split Fiction and Unravel 2. Sammy Barker over at Push Square wrote, the pair of playable characters complement each other. For example, in combat, you'll shoot off the heads of enemies using Lowe's bow and arrow and smash them with Alone's wrench. There are also moments where you'll need to coordinate each other's abilities to progress, shooting a switch with an arrow and then hacking through a wooden panel to get to the next room. Playing in co-op, we found there was an element of trial and error to each puzzle, and with the stakes high, we didn't always feel we had enough time to figure out how to progress. Fortunately, respawns are fast and checkpoints are generous, but those playing in single player may find the game a bit easier. Then Joey Brown at Game Rant wrote, Little Nightmares 3 is a game of trial and error, with numerous sequences where any failure would result in a do-over from a checkpoint. This was occasionally frustrating when one of us struggled repeatedly with a platforming jump. Still, more often than not, I'm adding the not for some reason, it led to triumph shouts as the solution to a tricky sequence became clear after a few more tries. So far, Little Nightmares 3 appears to be another leap for the beloved series with co-op gameplay that meaningfully evolves its gameplay and emotional impact. Gaming duos who recently enjoyed co-op jaunts like Split Fiction may want to clear their schedules for Little Nightmares 3's October 9th release.
Soon.
I don't need to read anymore. I get to listen to the man. Blessing Adeoye Jr. You played this at PAX?
Yes, PAX West. Bandai Namco had a big presence yesterday. I talked all about Digimon Story Time Stranger that they gave me 4 hours to play. I ended up just playing for 3 hours because that was like the length of the demo. But here for Little Nightmares 3, I played 3 hours as well.
Wow.
It was funny. I was having a conversation because Andy was at PAX 2, didn't play Little Nightmares 3, but he was like, should I sign up for this preview? Should I come through? And I was like, oh, well, like they didn't say anything about co-op. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a feature. I looked it up. I was like, well, they don't have local co-ops. So it's probably not going to be co-op. And then I get there and the first thing Bandai Namco says is like, all right, find a partner. We're going to go do co-op. The co-op is the way this demo.
Yeah, it's like the big thing about this game, Bless.
Well, here's the thing, right? I didn't know too much about Little Nightmares 3 going in because I've never played a Little Nightmares game. And I knew it was the big thing, but I was confused because it's online co-op. Like exclusive, like there's no local co-op mode in this game. If you're playing locally, then like you're playing with an AI that's controlling the CPU character.
Sure.
And so for some reason, I just didn't expect them to have it set up where it's like, all right, you have 2 PCs or 2 monitors, you're playing right next to somebody else. But luckily enough, Daniel Bloodworth from Easy Allies was there, and we looked at each other and we were like, all right. Me and you, we're going to be homies. We're going to be co-op partners. And we went in, we played as the 2 characters, Alone and Lo. I played as Lo, who is the character that wears a bird mask and uses a bow and arrow as their main weapon. The other character, Alone, who Bloodworth was playing as, is the one with the giant goggles who uses a wrench as their main item, their main weapon. My initial thing coming out of the preview was, man, how have I not played Little Nightmares before?
Okay.
Because if you know me,
Poppy.
I'm Puzzle Poppy is what they call me in the streets, right? Like, I love a puzzle game. I love a platformer. I love a puzzle platformer. Like, who would have thought?
Crazy.
When I look at the games I love, Inside and Limbo are 2 of my favorite indie games ever. And so, upon starting this preview for Little Nightmares 3, I was like, fuck, I should have been playing Little Nightmares 1 and 2. And I playing this co-op with Bloodworth, I appreciate what the co-op element adds to it, because the preview you read from Game Rant mentioned split fiction in the write-up, right? Of like, hey, if you're somebody who likes a split fiction, you might want to clear your schedule and play this. I 100% agree in the way that in the communication you have with your co-op partner of, oh, try this and I'm going to do this, right? Or you two having to coordinate doing slightly different things in order to solve a puzzle or in order to get to the next get through the next obstacle. This game has that at the same time as well, and it's really satisfying and it's really fun. Because you have like the different abilities, you get into like light combat encounters where you'll have like a enemy that's running at you, and for me as the character with the bow and arrow, I would have to like shoot their head off. And then Bloodworth as the melee character would have to like go and like smash their head in order to kill the thing.
Very cool.
Which led to these moments of us dying over and over again, trying to figure out like, okay, how do we kill this guy? And it was, all right, he's going to chase after Bloodworth. And so as he chases after Bloodworth, I'm going to press, I think it's triangle, to like shout and grab his attention and then shoot his head off. And then he's going to chase after me with his headless body. And then Bloodworth is going to go and kill the thing or kill the head in order to get past the thing. That was fun coordination. That was like a fun, we both had to be engaged here to take out this thing. And that's just one example, right? There's a lot of hoisting to somebody up a platform to get to the next thing. There's a lot of, oh, hey, you hold this switch so that I can then crawl through this door that you just opened, or us trying to solve this puzzle by us like controlling different things. And I love that type of shit.
Hell yeah.
For me, it gives me the things that I like about a puzzle platformer, but then also the things I like about a split fiction. I really like the atmosphere as well. Little Nightmares person I have in my life is Roger. I think Roger really likes Little Nightmares.
Yeah, that tracks.
And
he's my little nightmare.
Like, not that I didn't realize, I guess. I think one of the things that impressed me that I didn't think about too deeply going into it was the atmosphere of Little Nightmares. This game is creepy as hell. This game has kind of a Tim Burton-esque presentation to it that I think really leans into that style and really works. But then on the gameplay side, even though I reference Inside and Limbo, it kind of feels like Little Big Planet in the way that the characters kind of have like a ragdolly sort of feel.
Is that going to piss everybody off? Remember, people were always like, it's too floaty, the jumps.
Well, and not even just the jumps, but
period.
Like, there were parts where me and Bloodworth were struggling, and like part of it was just skill issue. Damn, we got to get better. But then parts of it felt like, damn, I couldn't move into this area the way that I wanted to move. Or like there was a little bug that was preventing us to like, be in this shadowy area that we had to like stay in order to not get seen. And shit like that was bugging out every now and then. But also, pre-release, I guess the game is out in a month, but that's stuff that I think they could polish and fix and have a day one patch and do all this.
So now this is on the list. So you're excited for this one?
I'm excited for this one. I don't know if it's on the list. Just because October's super busy.
Of course.
If my October was more free, then for sure I'd be like, oh yeah, I got to get around to Little Nightmares 2 or Little Nightmares 3, excuse me.
Yeah.
But this is definitely one where I'm like, I'm on the lookout for it. If I have space in my schedule and like Barrett or Roger or like anybody wants to be like, yo, let's hop into Little Nightmares 3 and see what it's about, I would be down. This is a fun time. Thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up. Wow, okay. The highest rating you can get from Blessing.
Exactly. That's my rating scale. I've been doing it for 5 years. Everybody knows my thumbs up rating scale.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know much about Little Nightmares either, but that looks cool. I'd like to try that one again because you and me always setting the record on Escape Academy when we're at SGF. Yeah. You know what I mean, dude?
I think the bummer thing, but it's just the game, right? Is like I would say, oh, this would be a fun one to play with Ben or somebody, but it's a rated M game.
Yeah,
it's fucked up in some places.
I'm looking forward to that.
Also, shout out to the fact that this is Supermassive's first Little Nightmares 3. This had a different developer, and that developer ended up getting acquired by Embracer, and Bandai Namco just looked at Supermassive and went, "You make one," which I think is kind of where the co-op comes from, because Supermassive has been doing co-op horror on the FMV or not FMV on the like narrative. Choose your own adventure side. I think it's really cool that they're bringing that to Little Nightmares. And we had to do interviews with the dev. And one of the things they said is that co-op was one of the most highly requested features for Little Nightmares, which is why we wanted to do it. And so I think they're surprisingly a really good fit for this game. And I think the co-op mode is bringing something where I'm like, oh no, this is a really fun way to play this game. So thumbs up on my rating scale. I've been doing this all the time.
A thumbs up from Blessing, everybody. We move on to story number 4.
Greg Miller.
Say his name.
Listen.
No, it's not Joe Hendry.
Greg.
Joe Hendry has a future in wrestling. This man's
but you did reference
on his way out.
You did reference Jeff Jarrett.
Greg, listen, I've had it up to here with you, you freaking prick. Don't put me on hold any longer. I've been in your waiting room for over a half hour. Barrett and me worked out details, flights, hotels, accommodation, car service. I was supposed to be in studio today and you cancel. Well, today is the day. In 30 minutes, just right at 30 minutes, play a game showcase. And the Kinda Funny crowd, they're great. You're the only asswipe that needs to be gone from this. All your staff, your co-host.
We have a show. We have a Gamescast following this that is not why Barrett. Why are you letting him promote his showcase?
The thing that started this friendship really, Barrett rhymes with Jarrett, so I gotta stand with him in solidarity and help him out and help out a friend. It's a beautiful friendship.
It's valid.
Barrett, my man. Hey Miller, that's BARRETT. That's Barrett, the best damn producer out there.
He is.
Miller. There ain't a damn thing I'm not going anywhere. Your audience absolutely has demanded. They want more news. You better report tomorrow about the full-blown showcase on Kinda Funny.
It is in the Wii News. It is in the Wii News. The Play Acclaim Game Showcase goes live today at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. We were going to do it. We were going to say it.
But you better talk about it tomorrow, too.
Well, you better have news, Jeff. You better have some news in this thing today.
Big news. Big. Look, going back to the golden age of gaming, now today is the rebirth, the relaunch. It's going to blow you away, Greg. I promise you. You will be a lot nicer to me after the bottom of the hour.
I don't think that.
And the entire world gets to see the showcase.
All right, Jeff. Well, we'll let you go to get ready for it. I noticed you're in another hotel room. Trouble at home. You know what I mean? This poor man.
Cut me off again?
Huh?
Yeah. You tried to cut me off.
No, it's you're cutting in and out. Your video's frozen. That's terrible. Anyways, close it up, Barrett. Goodbye, Jeff Jarrett. Congratulations to Acclaim. Of course, the Play Acclaim showcase in 30 minutes, but don't watch it live. Watch Gamescast about the movies. We'll get to that eventually.
We're also a VOD. You can come back and watch the
No,
Gamescast
God,
later.
why are you on there? You're hosting.
But he's Double J. That's my guy, Double J.
Let's move on to a real showcase, everybody. Number 4 on the Roper Report. The 6-1 Indie Showcase returns next week. We read from their BS. That's a blue sky, Tim. 47 indies, 72 minutes. The 6-1 Indie Showcase returns September 18th via IGN, GameSpot, and 6-1 Indies channels. World premiere from Origami Digital. I was probably pronounced that right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Or maybe Ori Game Digital. That might be it too. Little Gator Game, In the Dark Gameplay, and Super Rare Originals, Blumhouse Games, and so much more.
Blumhouse.
Save the date.
I had no idea that a Little Gator Game DLC was happening, and it's like the biggest news in my fucking life. I'm so excited. Play this game. Ben needs to play Little Gator Game for real. He would adore Little Gator Game.
Okay.
You got to play it.
I'll check it out. Thank you. Maybe I'll find. I mean, when we feed in the
Roger's
dark.
So excited, his voice was shaky.
That was crazy. He's winning. Roger wasn't in the building. He ran from his car. That, of course, is the 6-1 Indie Showcase, September 18th, 2025. The pre-show starts at 8:50. The main show starts at 9 a.m. And ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, I'm proud to announce that my second Gregway today is 24 minutes about this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
2 Gregways.
Yeah, well, so I got ahead on the Gregways, and so I had one banked, and I was like, well, I'll keep banking them. And I did this today, 24 minutes about the 6-1 Indie show, 6-1 Indie period.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, we're talking about it here. I might as well promote it here. So me and Cool Greg are treating you to 2 Gregways today.
Beautiful.
But in short, this is such an amazing event put on by 2 kind of funny best friends, just like yourself, who have gone from just being people in the community that I know from meet and greets and the comment section to now working in the industry in PR to now running an amazing showcase. And the way they are presenting the showcase to press is unheard of. It's the most polished package I've ever seen in my life. I was blown away by the email yesterday. And then on top of that, I think they're even underselling you here. Of course, 47 indies, 72 minutes. This is a free showcase. This is not pay to play. This is nothing like that. No money is exchanged hands. They do it for the love of the game to get, obviously, eyes on these things. These things always look incredible because they go above and beyond to shoot them. What I think is so amazing, and I've said before, is the landing page they make. So if you ever watch this, you can go to their thing, find all the wish lists, do all the demos, do everything you need to. More importantly, they evolve every year, like I'm talking about how they talk to us. And then the one thing to get out of here, 8:50 is their pre-show. What they're doing with it, I think, is such a radical fucking idea, is that their pre-show is them talking about the games so far this year you might have missed that are indie darlings.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's that idea of everybody comes to these things for the next big thing, which is awesome. Yes, get people to come for that, but then also be like, you want to play awesome shit right now that you've missed this year in an incredibly crowded 2025, in an incredibly crowded indie space. Here are awesome games you can buy, you can support, you can go and get right now. Just spectacular thing, and this is the tip of the iceberg. So check out my Gregway to hear me ramble about how Mike and Kyle are just above and beyond on what they're doing here, and you should go support them, as I did, because I did the whole thing, and I was like, you know what? I know they have a Patreon. I'm pretty sure they have a Patreon. I'm going to finish this Gregway and go become a patron. And I did that.
Nice.
So everybody go support 61indie.com.
Get
Get ready for this. We will be doing a reaction to this one. We will be going at 8:50 a.m. on September 18th, the Thursday there, to go ahead and have our own little reaction. It'll be VOD, but I explained all that in the Gregway, so go watch it. For now, blessing.
Greg.
Mike Towndrow.
Mike.
Kyle Stevenson.
Kyle.
6-1 Indie.
Yeah.
Doing amazing things. Jeff Jarrett, apparently
Jay.
destitute, having to live in hotels the rest of his life. Big news.
I mean, this is what happens when you're a big businessman.
If I
They send
wanted
you to
something
hotels.
smaller, say the tiniest news I need to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last news story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 5, the Wii News from Eurogamer. From Software has unveiled its new Deep of Night mode for Elden Ring Night Rain ahead of its release tomorrow, the 11th of September.
Come on.
Just get over it, everybody. All right, you say September 11th.
Just so you know, whenever I'm adding Eurogamer articles, usually I change it. Once I get to that 11th September, no. That one slipped by me. I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm sorry.
As revealed last week, this mode adds extra challenge to the multiplayer spin-off game. The world of Limveld, did I get that right?
Yeah.
Will be full of deadlier enemies, and Night Lords won't be selectable, as in the main game. Instead, players will traverse multiple depths with escalating difficulty and challenges. From Noble, Red Candle Games, parentheses 9 Souls / Devotion, end parentheses, released a new mysterious video with the name The Dark Legacy of the Sun Tribe with a come help find treasure message. This could be an ARG, which leads to a hint of the next project.
Excited.
It's creepy. I like it. I like
Nine
that a
Souls
lot.
developers
Yeah.
working on a horror game?
Well, that's what they did before Nine Souls, was Devotion, and then there was one other game that had to be taken off of Steam, I believe.
Abandoned.
Yeah, like that's what they did. So
That's cool.
And you can tell, like when you get deep into Nine Souls, there's some moments where you're like, oh shit, like
This is cool.
they know what to do with horror. So I imagine it's them going back to doing another horror game.
Pacific Drive DLC Whispers in the Woods has been announced. Forgive Me, Father 2 is coming to Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 on September 23rd. It's already on PC. Mega Malamar. Sorry, I see it and I gotta think, and then I watched this video already. For Pokemon Legends, ZA has been announced. You watch this video today?
No, I didn't watch the video.
Dude, their videos are like
another one of the cool ones?
bit, yeah, is like off the chain of like, yeah, it's Malamar going through and like, you know, using psychic powers to brainwash everybody, and it's all IRL people. It's really fucking good.
Oh, that's fun.
Celebrate Batman Day with DC Universe Online's 2-week event. And then, of course, the Play Acclaim Game Showcase goes live today at 11:30 a.m. That is 25 minutes from right now. But we'll cover it if anything actually happens tomorrow on Kind of Funny Games Daily. And it's a big if with Double J.
Rolls off the tongue. Double J.
It does. No,
Rolls right off the
100%. No,
tongue.
I hate that it's so catchy. We can then go into the rest of the Kind of Funny super chats we have. The Portland Kevin super chatted earlier and said, shout out to all the KFBFs at PAX, especially Harriet, Topher, Ken, Riley, Jesus or Jesus, Spencer, Nate, David, and Anthony. It was also great to meet Blessing. Thanks for making it a great weekend.
Shout out Topher.
Topher's the guy?
I don't know if I met Topher, but shout out Topher. I just like the name
It's a
Topher.
good name for sure. JB super chats and says, I got in the 2XKO beta. It's much further along than Tokon.
Much further along. I want to know what that means. Because let me tell you, I played
Just coming in, throwing shots.
I played the Tokon closed beta. That game is polished. That game is fucking good.
Mr. Devo 57 says, so I paid my birthday tax on Monday, and Blessing and I hope what? I'm gonna read it as is. There's no punctuation.
Oh God.
So I paid a birthday tax on Monday, and Blessing I hope just didn't see it. But is it possible to get a belated birthday shout out from Saskatchewan?
Happy birthday, Mr.
Saskatchewan.
Devo 57 from Saskatchewan.
There you go. Yell Singh says, in the year where everyone is going to $80, indie running the Game of the Year conversations would be something special.
Oh,
Remember, a
I
lot of
did
people
meet Topher.
tried to go to 80 and they got smacked the fuck down. So don't worry about that.
Shout out to the Portland Kevin in chat, who I also met at PAX West, who organized the Kind of Funny meetup.
Yeah.
And came with. I saw them. I couldn't go to the meetup, but like the day after, they were on the show floor, and I ran into him in a group of Kind of Funny best friends. Topher was one of them, I believe. So shout out to y'all.
Blake Wilhelm says, please, Camelot escape sports jail. More Golden Sun. We're talking about, Mario Sports, I think, and other stuff. Fog Walker says, for those not vibing with Silk Song, check out Neva. Another beautiful 2D indie action game. Played it based off Greg's recommendation last year and loved it. Neva.
I would also recommend Nine Souls for people who don't know.
Is it not punishing? Is it not hard?
It is hard, but the difference with Nine Souls, which is like the 2D Sekiro, is that it also has
you talk about you can change how much the enemies.
Yeah,
do
you can change a lot of accessibility options as well to help you out with this. So, which I know, I think Tim played around with it as well last year. So, I would highly recommend it if you want another really cool, interesting world with cute little dudes.
You dudes.
Nine Souls.
Sergio says, happy to see the best KF duo. Oh, man, let me try this again. Happy to see the best KF duo. G-Spot and B-Hole back on KFGD again.
Us.
That's us. Joey, make the shirt.
We could do hand signs, like a G, and then how do you make a B? Hands.
I mean,
you need both hands,
Yeah, but that's how you do it.
Yeah, but I want to put the G and the B at the same time.
Oh,
that's how, yeah.
No, one of us does it and the other does the other.
Oh, I like that.
We really need the shirt.
I know. Joey hates
G-Spot
selling
and
shirts. Jonathan Super Chats, excited to be making my first Super Chats. I'm from Barbados, where we don't have that function. Oh, I see. But I'm vacationing in NYC, so I had to try it out. Much
Nice.
love. Been listening to Greg since Game Scoop. Thank you, Jonathan, for on your vacation being like, I got to go pay these idiots.
That's awesome. I don't think I realized they didn't have that function in certain countries.
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
I'm sorry, Barbados.
Or congratulations. Red Misfit says, at Kind of Funny, I'm curious to know what size TV everyone uses for video games at home. And by the way, is a 65-inch too small for a living room?
Ooh.
As someone who just got a 65-inch, no, it is a very good size.
I have I play off a monitor on my desk at home. I do have like an ultra wide. I have an ultra wide at home that I use.
like my TV to be as big as fucking possible. I have an 83-inch LG OLED.
God, you guys.
I adore it.
All right.
I fucking
Do you also
love
have
it.
a big truck? Like, what the fuck?
No, when I got it, Nick looked at me and started laughing. He's like, "Is that going to fit on your wall?" And the panic I had.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I didn't measure it. My basement ceiling is
you
low."
always gotta
You know
measure
what I
it.
mean?
God.
But it's great. It's gorgeous. I love it. That's where it's going about. But no, I mean, whatever fits in your room. 65 is great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I think
I had a
upstairs,
55 before, and like just that 10-inch difference, like goddamn.
That's a lot.
It's a
10
lot.
inches?
Yeah,
Too big.
so much.
And that's it for Super Chats. Of course, you can keep us honest by going to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and telling us what we screw up as we screw it up. Kebabs points out it's a made-up word, but apparently the correct pronunciation of Zway or Z what is ZY. When I said that in some game name
Zwei.
earlier, ZY.
Zwei.
ZY. And then Lucid Dream says the Night Rain content is dated 9/11, but actually launches at 6:30 p.m. Pacific today due to the time difference.
Cowards.
The power of the global. The global. And that's it for Kinda Funny Games Daily, everybody. Thank you for watching, being a part of the show, and enjoying the content. Remember, if you think we did a great job today, go pick up a Kinda Funny membership. Patreon.com/kindafunny, YouTube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple or Spotify. Get all of our shows ad-free. Get 2 Gregways today. Get Cool Greg's Goosebumps review as a Gregway yesterday. Get literally hundreds of other episodes of Gregway if you've never supported us, since they're all there ready for your perusal. And of course, get good karma for supporting our 11-person dream here in San Francisco, California. The Gamescast is up next, where they are going through and saying if they like it, hate it, or whatever about these movies, about video games that are coming up. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Behold!
G-spot.